So today on the small parcel, I'm going to get some of my food plot work done. I kind of just started this project last year with Dave. It was a solid D plus-ish level food plot. But you can see I did have some decent winter rye production out of it. And that's something that in this particular area, I don't have a lot of big agriculture stuff. You mainly have to work with primary timber habitat. And on this acreage, food is probably at this point the lowest or kind of the biggest priority. I've done a lot of work over the years on some timber stuff. I continue to work on that. I've got a decent southern bedding slope that tends to be a little thicker, gets a lot of sun. I've been working on the beech trees over there. But I'm going to expand this food plot out. You can kind of see just down the way here, I've got another extension coming in. And really the goal today is get more area to get winter rye. That seems to be something that grows really well and like limited effort is required. I've talked with Cisco this week. He has really good luck running that in timber type habitats. My buddy Larry recommends that. Jeff Sturgis also has a lot of killer YouTube videos about like kind of double and triple seeding winter rye. So I'm going to probably give that a shot over here. And on this side, I'm going to do like a clover rye mix. That seemed to do really well last year. And then I do have a nice rope mock scrape up at the top here to kind of, I don't know, make this area do a lot, because there is a bedding area behind me. There's a nice little terrain feature, and now I'm adding some food. And really the hope is I don't have as much PTO this year. I might be shooting a buck in late season, so food's gonna be king. So that's kind of why I'm out here, what I'm doing today. I will kind of give some tips or some thoughts I have. I work a lot with hand tools out here. I don't have an ATV. I don't have a tractor. So I got to bring in all the tools I'm willing to work with. And there's a lot of options out there. I should note this, that if you're a guy who can get a small pumper and make a heavy glide mix.
This is my mix that I use for kind of killing trees out, if you will. You just get a high glyphosate mix. This is like 43-ish, and this is like a small half-gallon pumper, and I will fill this, and then I'll put a roughly 1-to-1 ratio. You're probably better off, if you're going to kill trees, to put a 1 to half ratio, so meaning like 8 ounces of spray killer and then 4 ounces of water, just enough water to kind of mix in there.
Or work with a hatchet and even a hand saw or a bigger wood saw that you can bring in with you. Also, and I didn't know this at say age 22, 23, you can rent a chainsaw for the day, and it's like a $500, it's probably $300 to $500 chainsaw. It's a high-end saw. You can run it for the day for under $40, and you could do all your work or majority of your work. And if you can't afford a nice steel chainsaw, my dad gifted me the one you see me running today. That was not a Byron Horton purchase, but it's one of those things you can get access to, maybe limited time on a better saw and some of that better equipment. Here's kind of a perfect example. You can see I did make a cut with a chainsaw, and then I came back the next week. I didn't have my saw, but I went ahead and used the hatchet and sprayed some of my glyphosate mix that you saw here at the beginning of the video. And you can see those leaves are turning. Here's some of the leaves you can see on the low branch.
I should note, I only use this method for trees I don't feel comfortable dropping fully with a chainsaw. Generally these are splits, or maybe the lean I'm not 100% on. I just don't have the most chainsaw experience and trying to just be safe. Now I do note these trees and don't plan to hunt in and around them.
It's starting to turn and die. Another item I like to do here in the month of June is some gear stuff. And not necessarily gear you think about, but I got some permethrin here. I got some Sawyers. Here. I like the pumper bottles. You can buy them in packs or whatever, but that seems to be an easier way to go ahead and get those guys on your clothes. And definitely need that for scouting, pulling cams, even working in the yard some places. I got another key item this time of year, more of the camping or fishing or just general outdoors, but thermostat replacement parts. I get all that off Amazon. Coming up quick, trail camera items. You can see here I got the SD cards. I like those 16 gigs. These are the Amazon bulk batteries. I'll be giving those a test this year. Last year I ran the Energizers and the Rayovacs. And the Rayovacs actually I had a couple issues with as far as running them. And so for the price, I think I'm gonna try a couple other options. Can't beat those on the price for the big 72 pack. It's like 16 or it's under $20 or something stupid. And this brings me to my final item here. I have a Kuiu bag that I ordered used off of one of the websites out there or the forum groups, like Backcountry Hunter Gear or whatever. I kind of like buying some gear like that used because you get, you know, 20 to 30% off what it would normally be, and sometimes you can get steals. I was able to steal a bag a few years ago, and basically the carbon frame, which is like $160 value, the guy threw it in there for like nothing. So that's a few things that I've got to get done here. Hopefully I can get to the bow shop and get that bow set up. I just got a call last week that the strings were done.
This is a pretty cool idea here for arrow storage. This is just like a piece of PVC pipe with a little tied next to the shelving unit, but stores your arrows well. I actually use it again on the outdoor range.
I got here as far as the outdoor range at the house. I had a beam going between these two and I cut it in half. Got a couple bow hooks in it, which are nice to hold the bow. And then I got these shelves here.
But it's just a simple little elbow guy there and some small screws.
And these shelves hold your like rangefinder, your binos, and a choice beverage or two every now. My other final tip for you guys is actually leave your targets in the grass for a couple days. Let that sun do its thing, and it'll burn your target spots at 20, 30, and 40 yards. Your wife might be a little pissed because you got random squares that are burnt out grass, but you know right where to store your targets. And if you shoot from the same spot every day, you don't need a rangefinder to get some arrows in quickly. It's a pro tip.